What's good, guys? Back again, and today we're gonna be getting into a elongated vlog style video. Had something go down, and we're just gonna get into fixing it and getting right back to thrashing. So, if you'll stick with me, we're about to get into what the process took so far. I don't think that's supposed to be pointed that way. So the damage count is we ripped the subframe where the toe mounting arm goes for this tire. So it's kicked in like so, really towed in, and caved in the quarter panel. So I wasn't able to add gas before doing any modifications to this. This is what we're looking at. What's up, guys? Back again, and you can tell what we're looking at today. It's a little fucked, for lack of better words. Yeah, what we're gonna get into is taking apart and damage assessment, so that way we can start pulling this rear quarter back out. And once we pull that back out, I'm hoping the bumper will just pop right back out, because those are flexy. Those will do that. And yeah, so we'll get this quarter straightened out the best that we can, kind of get these innards ripped out so we can assess damage on the inside, and start straightening this back out the best that we can in preparation for the new quarter panel that my buddy Swag has set aside for me. So this should be simple enough. We're going to take out the tail light. We're going to go ahead, start figuring out how much of the inside is messed up, and then once I get a nice gauge for it, I think I'm going to try and straighten out these body lines right here for the tail light mounting, and we'll go from there. So yeah, stick around and we'll get to that. Damage assessment here. We are caved into the taillight mounting. We're gonna try and pull this back out the best that I can and hammer it all through here. Yep. Doesn't look like I caved all the way into the innards here, but no way of telling until I get further in there, so we'll see. So we're back again. I've pried a little bit with a hammer, clear this out just a little bit. I doubt that I can, but yeah, no, I still can't access the gas cap just yet, but we'll get to that. Not too worried yet. We got that all exposed now, which I've beaten with a piece of wood and a hammer just a little bit. So got that nice and flattened out to the
He asked him to go that way. So it's like, where's he in the garage? Fucking time. Yeah, I seen it. Yeah. We got it in there though. Didn't rip nothing off, so that's not ripping down. There you go.
Okay, so now we're back. Got the car in the garage. Now just to go ahead and get underneath it and start figuring out damage count. Little update on where we are today. Got the wheels off. She's flying. So now that we're getting to the mechanical of it all, we got to get this arm out, which is connected to the rear subframe. So with that being the case and not being able to really access this bolt the greatest, we're going to drop the rear subframe. So we got the big ooga dooga out. Where'd he go? The little ooga dooga out. And as of now, what I am doing is I've already taken off the protective plating there that goes over the rear cross frame. We've got the front bolts out. We've got the rear bolts out right there. And so this is free floating now. Time to go over to the other side, get the last, what is it? I think 4 12mm bolts, and we'll be able to drop this cross frame here. After we drop the cross frame, I'm gonna take apart the exhaust, probably in 2 pieces there and at the Y pipe. So that way I can drop the drive shaft. Yep, you can see it there. And then once I drop the drive shaft, we will be, for the most part, clean and clear from the front to the back on what we need out of there. Ooh. And let's see here. Once we get to that point, I think I'm gonna rip off all of this, take down the coil. That way we can try to fix this rip in my subframe. The arms look great. Axle not bent. Neither is this other arm down here. It just took it pretty hard on the subframe. And this arm here, you can see where it's ripped right about there. Maybe get a better view on the other side. Not really, but you can kind of see, yeah, that's ripped clean off. So with that being said, we're gonna drop the whole steering knuckle and assess for any other damage, but we will be back up and running soon enough and hopefully hitting the track next week. Fingers crossed. I had to mute this portion because of copyright reasons, but we have the coilover off, rotor, brake caliper hanging. We've got the cross brace already off. Working on getting the exhaust and the drive shaft. Yup, you know what it is. Ain't no intermission. Just filling y'all in. We've already got the exhaust Y pipe off. And then we've also got the drive shaft out. So, yeah, we getting her there. Rotors and coils are both off. So, now that we've got that done, I'm thinking, probably remove the rest of that exhaust piping before I get any further. And then I'm gonna start figuring out what other arms need to come off before I drop the whole subframe. So, subframe will hopefully be out today. And my boy told me that he's already working on the subframe going into this. So fingers crossed, if everything works out right, which I'm not rushing him by any means, but I should have the parts probably today or tomorrow. And that means the rest of this week is just piecing it back together. And after we get it pieced back together, since insurance has already came out, taking a look at this, I'll pull that back off and we're ready for next weekend, hitting up the Heartland Topeka track before they close it down for eternity. So racing against the clock here, guys. Look crazy as hell, but we're gonna get it done. I promise you that. Alright, now we're back. Hair looking right. We've got a jack underneath the differential. Try and balance this out. I decided against doing the skateboard. I was gonna do that, but no. Got that plug out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pop that harness off of there so it's not connected to the subframe no more. And then past that, we're gonna drop the subframe. Take out all these bolts. There's 2 14s and then 2 19s, one like this on the other side. And then I think there's like a bunch of 14s up there that I'm talking about. Yeah. And there's some that are recessed into the frame there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so we have all the bolts out and she's already coming down, but I felt like I should grab my phone for this point, so if I drop it you guys can laugh with me. Here we go. Coming down even. Don't look like we've got any tension points. Looks good. Okay, she's leaning that way. She's dragging down that stud, so I think I'm gonna put down the phone until I get it on the ground, but we'll try not to drop it. Oh, we have successfully dropped the rear subframe. Now we're just waiting. Pretty crazy to look at. That's cool. So we now have the differential separated from the rear subframe. Lastly, what I'm thinking I might need to do is salvage these wheel bearings, because those are still good. Probably salvage that arm because I don't have an extra of that side, but now I've got one of the other side. The brake line, e-brake, I'm gonna have to take every bit of that apart, so that's gonna be a fun little learning curve, but shouldn't be too complicated. It's just like a pulley system. So I already got this side somewhat disassembled. I just got to figure out how that comes off of there. But with that being said, the subframe's just about bare. Now that this one is done, and we've got all the extra pieces, kit and caboodle, all in here. Fucking exhaust, everything else. I don't know why my phone's doing all the interactive zooming. Oh, so come over here, and this one is flipped upside down. So is what it is. We'll get it flipped back. And solid bushings. I'll take it. It's gonna ride a little bit different, but we'll get it right in there. So we have the steering knuckle and all the control arms off on that side now. Pretty crazy to see. Once you get it all the way down to just a few arms, I mean, doesn't really look all that intimidating. Got the differential separated from it. So as soon as I get the e-brake lines, you probably, yeah, there's one of them. And then the other one, yep, there it is. Disconnected from there because they're in a full mount bracket right there and right there. But yeah, two 12mm bolts, and I think that's free. And the rest of these arms, and this is gonna go over to the scrap pile, or we might play with this to reinforce it, but that right there is pretty screwed. I mean, you can see where it just sheared off. It's been in an accident twice now, so it is what it is. We might play with it, we might not, but aside from that, we've got a whole new one ready to go in with solid bushings instead of these half rubber, half metal type ordeals. They're pretty stiff. I say they're not bad. Might save it to press those out and save them for somebody else, or I don't know, maybe me later. So let's get the rest of this stuff done and get the carrying on to install. Well, that is a completely emptied out subframe. Nothing else attached to it except for the metal of itself. Oh, now my kids are about to get off of the bus, so about to be making dinner time and blah blah blah. But with that being said, don't do that weird zooming stuff. That being said, we're looking at a new subframe going inside. I just got to clean this off, clean up myself before I do that, because I think I'm going to get to this tomorrow, but it'll be in like 2 seconds for you guys. So here we go. Well, just like we found out last time, the dust shielding for the rotor will not fit. We've got the upgraded package on here. So back over to this one, and we are trimming up the dust shield to match the other one. A little rigid, but ain't nothing I'm not used to. Good old sheet metal shears. Oh, get both of them completely trimmed up so I can fit my rotor inside of there. Then it's time to clean this boy off. It's a rainbow. Got these guys all trimmed up, looking nice and fine. no burrs, so made it look nice and clean. And then got her all sprayed off. Hit it with a little bit of sandpaper to get all the stuck on grime, but it's starting to sparkle like my last one, if not cleaner. So hell yeah, excited to throw this one in. So since we were lucky enough to get these parts and the solid bushings for the subframe and the differential all for free, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So the gaskets, whatever you want to call them, they go between the solid subframe mount and the frame itself. So that way you're not riding metal on metal. It'll reduce all of the chatter that you'll get from doing so. And these ones are kind of toasted. That being said, let's go ahead and get these drawn out. There we are. I wouldn't say that they all fit perfectly, but good enough for me, and they're the same thickness as these ones here. So I say that it's gonna work just fine. We'll cut these out. All right, guys, we are back underneath the car. We have the subframe going back in, and this is the fun part. Trying to get her back in, but my jack is 100% topped out. I don't have a second set of hands, and I need every last 4 of these damn bolts to go in at the exact same time. Otherwise, if you're just slightly offset, you get like 2 of them that look like they want to, but then you've got this one over here that obviously ain't nowhere near it. So I could pull up on the ass end, but if I pull up on the ass end, the front end wants to readjust. So that's where my headache is now, but we're gonna get it figured out. So subframe is in. So I'm looking through and it looks like I've been to war in here. But subframe is fully installed, arms all on, the coilover's on, the rotor's on, just got to get the brake caliper back on. I'm going to connect the e-brake lines. After the e-brake lines is drive shaft and exhaust. I think we're about ready to drop her down, but I don't know if I'll clear a wheel in there, so we'll see. We got the wheel on. Everything's put back together. It's just, it looks nice from that point forward. So with where we're at now, I'm about to make a trip to Harbor Freight. I'm going to buy tools because I'm wanting to pull this. I'm going to find some type of hook fashion to be able to pull that there, and some hammers. Smack this out. And then maybe that paintless dent removal kit with the glue and the strips with the hooks so you can add like a bar in the middle and kind of pull that way. I don't know. We're going to find something else out new today. So we'll see how far we get. Well, here we are back again, guys. Got her down. She is no longer flying, wearing both of her rear wheels. So went up to Harbor Freight, snagged up a new ratchet strap, and I think a second as well, still sitting in the car. Got myself a nice little plethora of hammers and bodywork tools, and I've got my ram pump. So nothing less to do other than get into the fun portion of this video and start trying to pull this, see what we can't get back out of it before we wind up cutting it and adding the new fender, quarter, whatever the hell you want to call it. But this should be fun. Gonna try and pull this back out and see what happens. Let's see, guys. Well, I was right in assuming that as soon as I dropped her back down off of jacks, that rusty dusty piece of shit right there is going to be stabbing inside of the wheel. So we got the low pro underneath the diff, both rear wheels just barely floating above. That way I can still hopefully get some kind of traction out of them. Well, here's my next idea. I decided against the ratchet strap being on the house, and we're doing it off of the car. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so just by hooking that up and pulling a little bit, I think I've got the clearance that I need for my wheel almost. And we'll see how much better we can get. I'm not stopping until we can access the gas cap, so this should be fun. Dropped you guys my last time as I went to go hop in the car. So let's see if I can set you up without losing you this time. I lied. Let's try this for a third time. We got it. Haha. Okay. Mother. Got tired of picking up my phone if you couldn't tell, so sorry for the cut up in between videos, but it is what it is. Bar. This is all the way down off of the floor jack, and we've got wheel clearance now. We just need to be able to access this, and this is what we're looking at. This piece here is some type of metal, and it's grabbing the cap there and there, preventing it from spinning. So we're gonna try and pry this off of here one way or another, and if I can get the gas cap free and this ain't scraping at all, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go enjoy this thing tonight. Have some fun before we get the new quarter panel installed. So while I was vibing out during my smoke break that I took off the camera, got this thing a little bit better. You wouldn't be able to tell. It looks like a whole ass bomb went off inside of it, but I did get the gas cap spinning ever so slightly. I stopped messing with it because I had just hacksawed off that piece there. And I think I'm going to use my sheet metal tools and try to pull this piece kind of out some, away from this, so I don't have to worry about getting too close to that. Because I'm thinking if I free up this shielding that goes around the gas cap, I should have access to it. So I just chopped the whole thing off. Sliding again. We can worry about the rest of this another day whenever we're welding in the new quarter panel. So we're getting there. Hopefully we'll get some footage in for the end of this video. Oh man, you wouldn't believe the smile on my face right now. To know that she's back up and running, I am too stoked. But sadly, this alignment is so off, I let go of the wheel and I'm diving to the left. So yeah, I'm playing with it right now, just taking it on a cool little route, and then I'm gonna go ahead and see if she'll go ahead and at least do like 65 so I can make it out. We're testing it out. Shit feels weird, but we're gonna get there. She gets it still.
This is like new top, black top. How's this gonna drift?
Mm-hmm. Right? Seemed like that tire right there is a little bit low. Yeah, when you went to go take off, it kind of hooked. I could see it flex and then hook. Yeah. Yeah, I could tell.
You got a pump?
I don't, sadly. I left it sitting at home. You want to make a trip? You want to make a trip? All right. Well, I call that a very successful day. Got it put all the way back together. Got a nice little shakedown in with my boy Swag Stunts. And then pulled up to the bottoms to go get a couple of different shots of the cars while we were hanging out. When you're just chilling, trying to enjoy a blunt, and a whole car show pulls up on you.
Good.
I'm waiting on more. I know it's not a car show yet, but
They just
I'm
heard that
sure.
we were coming down here.
Yeah,
They heard we were coming down here and they wanted
to see us do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But we're too big of sissies to do anything cool.
Oh no, not with this nice of vehicles out here. Look at that. That's mint right there.
We got a shit again.
I got the shit again.
70 now.
That's a 352. Yeah, we literally pulled up on a fucking car meet. Hondas, Nissans, Dodge, Ford.
I have to do something cool on the way out.
Right? Fuck the car meet up.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
What is this, bro?
Cherokee, bro.
It was just a dead night not but 2 seconds ago. Look at the other Z. Who'd that go to?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the green. Car line just don't stop. They all pulling in. So you know at this point it was our cue to get on out of here. And with that, that's the end of the video, guys. Catch you next time on part 2 of this vlog.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.